your hands in the air. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
Mixing sodas with the beer. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
So why don't everybody cheer it?
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
This is the one right here.
Throw your hands in the air. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
Mixing sodas with the beer. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
So why don't everybody cheer it?
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
This is the one right here.
You got
What is y'all, your social media platform artist and the host of the great YouTube channel. I'm your host, your one and the only Dr. Do here, everyone. How are we on the wonderful Wednesday evening right here, y'all? Today's video, I'm going to give you guys another history video right here. This history video, I want to talk about this man. This is a man who was supposed to bring honor and greatness to his country. He was a former emperor and also the last one of the ancient kingdom of China. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the tragic story of Puyi. Puyi was a former Chinese emperor of China, born in 1906 till 1967. He took power back in 1908, right after the previous emperors, alright? We need to talk about this guy right here. This man was considered supposed to be the next generational emperor of China, who's supposed to bring them honor and all the glory and all to bring the might of China upon every nation in Asia to a knee. But however, he was considered by far the most controllable person in human history. He also always been manipulated by many political groups, including empires from other factions as well. So in this video, we need to talk about that right here, y'all. How tragic what his story was. All right. So before we get started, if you guys new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification down below. Comment down below. See what you guys think about my opinion about this. And also, you guys want some Dr. Do merch? Go to Cotton Beer to get you guys Dr. Do shirt wear, hat wear. Well, not this one because this was one of my original hats before I worked with Cotton Beer. Drink wear, hat wear. Alright, y'all. Shirt wear, jacket, and hoodie. Prepare yourself for winter right here, y'all. So you guys want Dr. Do powders that will give you enough hydration, energy, protein, and also help you focus. Go to Beach Chart to get you guys Dr. Do protein powder, right? Many flavor like lemonade, strawberry, fruit punch, grama berry, gummies right here, gummy flavor for all y'all who love gummies so much, alright y'all? And also chocolate and vanilla protein as well. So without further ado, let's get this party started. His story began in 1906, alright, in China. At that time, around when he was born, China was facing economic problems such as their military power, their political leadership, including their monarchy at that time, were facing crisis under the leadership of the Gonosho and the emperor and the empress known as Puyi Empress. All right. Even following the aftermath of what happened to their political belief right after being defeated by the Eight Alliance, consisting of United States, France, Britain, Japan, Russia, Germany, Russia, who else, and Italy as well, who took down her military, including the Boxer Rebellion as well, and also following at what happened to the Emperor of China, the Chichi nephew Puyi took power at the age of 2, following the aftermath of what happened to him, to the previous emperor, and then a year later, Chichi passed away as well, leaving him as the emperor of China at the age of 2. He doesn't know that much about his leadership at that time because he was a baby still. He had during his time as the emperor, he had over 1,000 servants, 1,000 counselors, members who helped him, clean him, bathe him, brush his teeth for him, all of that stuff. From 1908 to 1912, there was a rebellion happened at that time of his reign, because in 1911 there been a rebellion going on in China because due to problems, many peasants, many workers have been facing economic problems during their time under the rule of Puyi and the whole entire empire right here, y'all. And so the people had rebelled against the empire and forced the child to be removed from power. But however, he remained keeping his title and remained living in the Forbidden City in China until then. All right, he remained having a title and stuff, but however, being under a man named Yun, who is actually the general, became one who helped establish the Republic of China following the application of the Emperor Puyi himself. He used him as some sort of puppet to get him some gains of power as well. He also tried to be the emperor himself, but Puyi prevented him from doing so. So after what happened to Yun in 1917, he would give it back his power and became the emperor in 1917. From 1917, he was 11 when he took back his power. All right. Following from that, he been giving some counseling and also some advice and stuff. He also have a tutor named Reginald Johnson who helped him teach him how to speak English, learn about other things that that China have not learned in Western cultures stuff right here. And then following from 1917 to 1924, a coup happened under a warlord named Fang who took power, removing Puyi from being the emperor of China and removing him from the Forbidden City. He was forced out of the Forbidden City in 1924 when he was just 17 years old at that time. 18 years old at that time. Tragic for him to lose power over the course of 8 years. 8 or 8 years, following the aftermath of him being removed from his whole entire, removed from being emperor and not remove him from Forbidden City. So he decided to take refuge in Japan, where they helped him, fund him and his whole entire group. And also, for that, in 1922, they helped him establish the Kingdom of Manchuria and then take over Manchuria in 1934 with the help of Japan. This was one of the most controversial story right here, because at that time Japan wanted to take over all the Asia under their rule and under their Emperor Hiroshima. Sorry, I kind of messed up on the Emperor Japan name, alright, y'all? And so, during that time, right here, from 1934, he became the official king of Manchuria, but as a puppet king of Manchuria. By using him as a puppet, Japan can use him as gains of conquering all of China. In 1937, during the Chinese Civil War that was happening between the communism and the Republic of China, and then in 1937, Japan invaded China, killing millions of lives under Japanese invasion, including taking over Nanjing and also the capital of China, killing and sexually assaulting all that women, children, murdering them. It was tragic to see something like that. Puyi had been a puppet. He is easy to control, because when you think about it, he had been easily manipulated by many officials, many staff members, including the Japanese allies of his as well, including the fact that he tried to be a great emperor and he tried to rule over Manchuria without any support of Japan. But however, he cannot rule over Manchuria without the Japanese allies. He ruled over Manchuria from 1934 till 1945. You know what happened in 1945? The end of World War II, and at that time, the Soviet Union invaded Manchuria, forcing Puyi and his wife from being removed from power and losing all that ground control of Manchuria, and they decided to flee Manchuria to Japan. But however, the Soviets managed to intercept them and arrest them for their crime. So in the aftermath of World War II, and in the aftermath of the Japanese defeat by the Allies in 1945, ending World War II, Puyi took part of the Tokyo. He took part of the he took part of the World War II war crimes. He was in. All right, he took part of it, being accused of betraying his nation, betraying his people, took part of killing over 20 or 30 million Chinese men and women and children, even though he did not took part of it. Also, another reason for that, because he believed that he had enemies that tried to remove him from power, such as the anti-Manchurian forces. But however, it turned out that he did not know that the anti-Manchurian forces were aided by none other than Japan himself. He felt betrayed by many people around him. He doesn't know who he should trust, his allies, his family, or anyone around him. Unfortunately for him, what even worse for him, he cannot have children at all. He was infertile. It turned out that he cannot have any child with any other women. He also wasn't that interested in women, because think about it, he was been isolated from everyone in the forbidden city all his life, which sucked for him. All right, and so instead of executing him like what happened with the Tsar Nicholas family and stuff, Mao Zedong decided not to kill Puyi, because when you think about it, Mao Zedong doesn't believe that killing a royal family will bring the whole entire end of the empire of China for good. Because when you think about it, Mao Zedong doesn't want to take the mistake that with the Soviet Union had done with the Russian family. So he decided to have him strip up his royal name, his title, and everything that Puyi had as leader of China. They decided to have him be in prison in labor camp from 1950 till 1959. Completely made him into a citizen of China. From 1959 to 1969, he became a gardener, became a citizen of the People's Republic of China, and following in 1967, he passed away. He died as part of the Chinese leap of faith right there, right? The leap 4, I mean, with over 45 million, like around 40 million Chinese men, women, children had died in that event right there, y'all. It's tragic to see millions of people in China die from starvation, sickness, and things that which many people consider tragic. To me, Puyi was too controlled. He was being controlled more than anything I ever seen. He always get manipulated by many people. He always get tricked by people. He also, when he tried to act with aid and stuff, his ally would never going to help him anyways. When I see Puyi, he too controlled by many audience and many people. It's tragic for him that he never gained any trust. He also never shown how great he was. Right there, it was basically very hard for him to get people to know that he tried to be the great leader of China, but however, he can't be able to make good decisions at all because of the damage that with all the people around him have ruined him, hurt his name, his honor, including being the last bloodline of China, the last bloodline of the Qin dynasty. Right there, y'all. Sucked to be him at that time. Well, if I ever was alive at that time, I want to ask him this: why you let people control you? Why did you not do anything about what they trying to do to you? You were supposed to be the emperor of China. You're supposed to give people hope and respect. But however, I felt like he would have said something about like being manipulated and stuff. I mean, like, dude, you shouldn't had me manipulated by no one. You had the power, but however, you just not great enough to take fully control of your whole entire life and your whole entire chance of making decisions, which all your councilmen have basically destroyed your name and all destroyed decisions that you try to make right here, y'all. It's sad to see how this man really tried his best to do anything for his people, but he was basically too weak to do something about it. It was tragic to see how his whole entire empire that with his whole entire ancestors have been building for thousands of years all came down, no thanks to him and to those who helped him destroy the last remnants of the whole entire Chinese empire. Right there, y'all. And there you have it. This is the story I want to talk to you guys about. I hope y'all like this video. I hope y'all enjoy it. And I'll see you guys next time. Please subscribe to the channel, hit notification down below, comment down below what you think about my opinion about it. And I'll see you guys next time right here. Peace out, y'all.